Welcome and welcome back. Today we are talking about a tough subject. So I just want to say thank you to my new followers. Welcome back to my returning followers. And today we're talking about death. Um, this is a tough season for me. So this is a tough season for a lot of people. So this is a wonderful season to be thankful. It's a wonderful season to celebrate family. It's a wonderful season to just get together and enjoy each other. But for some of us, we are missing family. And the holidays are rough because of getting together and enjoying each other, because the get together without the person or just the thought of trying to get together might be too much. And this year, I'm blessed to be able to go see someone turn 100. So I'm very excited about that. My daughters and I will be traveling. And so that's exciting because we celebrate life for sure. And I'm coming to you now because I know that, like, I kind of lost both of my brothers in this season. Like, I lost my brother, my twin is what he would call me, what I would call him. I lost my twin. He was not my twin, but that was my baby. I lost him in December, and he had cancer. And I lost my other brother in January, like right after my birthday. Not right after my birthday, but shortly after my birthday, to cancer as well. But I grieved them relatively well. I did not grieve my father well. And so that's why we're having this conversation now. And there's a lot of things going on, and I know that I'm not the only one in this place. So I just wanted to have this conversation with you because there is a way to grieve that's healthy. And so we want to try to do that instead of getting stuck. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. Because, see, I got stuck. I got stuck with my dad. When my dad passed in 2002, life froze. And life didn't freeze. That was the problem in my heart. In my heart, because I couldn't accept it. So there are 5 stages of grief. And the first one is denial. And I got stuck in denial. Like, it happened, but my mind and my heart couldn't accept it. All I could think about was what I missed. And I was at my father's funeral, and I was finding out things about him that I didn't know. So I felt like I didn't know my father. And as a result, I kind of got stuck in that moment. So life moved on. I still did things, but it was almost like I was on autopilot in a way because of that denial. So other parts of my life didn't move well because I wasn't actually, what's the word? I wasn't growing well. Because to grow well, you grow in all of the areas that you need to grow and mature in. And we can hinder that process. So there's a process that's natural, but then there's a process that can be hindered because we refuse to allow our feelings to do what they need to do. So I didn't get out of denial for a very long time. Like, it actually wasn't until I fell in love that the love and the refusal to face the process of grief battled in my heart. And I had to, like, I couldn't even, Father's Day would come and I couldn't even stomach it. I couldn't deal with commercials. I couldn't deal with cards. I couldn't deal with people talking about their fathers, it would trigger me. And it was like, you know what, Terry, you have gotten to the point where you need to see somebody. So I had to see somebody to deal with that, because they had to get me out of that place. And I'm not there anymore. But it did take some work. And what I found was a part of why I was so stuck was because I felt like I missed out on my father's life, and I took advantage of his life, and I did not love him how I should have loved him. And so when he died, I didn't know him, which is not all the way true, but when you're in grief, things happen. You bargain, you get angry, you get depressed. You get depressed because you miss this person and you're never going to see them again in real life. You'll see them in pictures. You'll see them, if you have children, you'll see them in your children. So I had to deal with the hurt and get help with that so that I could begin to see my father, because now I know that my father's with me every day. He is so in both of my children. It is, and I have hyperhidrosis because of him. Like, he used to have to walk around with a full-size towel. I promised myself as a teen, and this is how you know, when you have to, take your foot out of your mouth type situation, because I was like, I'm not going to walk around with a towel. That's not ladylike. Well, I'm not sure if sweating profusely is ladylike, but I walk around with a towel in the summer now because it's just, I sweat a lot. And if I drink more water, I like to work out. I like to stay in shape. I'm working on getting in shape. I sweat a lot. So that means I have to carry a towel, even in the winter. Even in the winter, I have to carry a towel. And he had to carry a full-size towel in the winter. Hated it. I hated it. And I have to do it. And now I love it. Because it reminds me of him. Whenever my towel is on my shoulder or on my waist, is where I usually put it, as opposed to on my shoulder, so it doesn't look so like I'm just coming out the gym all the time. But I sweat that much, really. But yes, I needed to come to you now because you need to know this. No one talked to me about death. So when death hit me, it hit me. And I didn't have the skill set to move through what I needed to move through in that process. And no one was talking to me about it. So this is here. This video is here for now, if you need it. This video is here for later, if you need it. And it's taken me a while to have this conversation with you. And I don't know where this conversation will land as it pertains to my writing. I already told you the next book is focused on the next generation, kind of. No. The next book is for individuals who are in group homes. Now, I know that there are people that you look up to, but group homes came through foster care system, maybe never got placement, never really had good parenting. Not that I'm the best parent. I am not. I am absolutely going to have to edit and reproduce this book when I get married, but I'm going to write it from my perspective with everything that I know as a parent, parenting females, and everything that I know and I learned about. And I'm going to say parenting males, and I've had many question my ability to do so. But as a leader in a building of teenagers, you are like the school mom. So when they're not in the presence of their own parents, students, children, young adults are in the presence, it's actually a legal term called in parentis locus, I think. Note that it's like crazy parent. But there is a legal term. In this moment, I don't know what it is, but it speaks to, I play the role of the parent when I'm in the school building, if I'm the school leader or the teacher, because I have to make the decision in that moment. And there were many moments when that's just what I had to do. For example, a child went into labor. When a child went into labor, mom's not here. I have to call mom. Mom has to get here. Now we have to determine, is this child going to stay in the school, or do we need to call the ambulance and get her to the hospital? And then we tell mom, meet her at the hospital. So there are a lot of decisions that have to be made. And so then I'm almost that parent. So no, they're not the children that I birthed, but they are the children that are in my care if I am the leader or the teacher. So understanding that and all that I learned as a leader of a predominantly male alternative school, I'm going to put that in a book. But I also know this generation, and this is what you need. You need me to talk to you. Now, I'm going to give you the book. You're going to need the book because the book is going to have everything. And sometimes a video will work, but sometimes you'll need to see like the written model so you can actually do what you need to do in your own life. And every piece won't work every time, if that makes sense. It's not about not effective, not about not having procedure. It's about, where are you in this season? So in this season, I may need to work on my mental health. But in this other season, I might need to go back to school because I need to make more money, or I need to start a coaching business. It just depends on where you are. It depends on what we need. It depends on what you're missing. So there's going to be a book that I create, and I'm in the process of writing, but I have to think about all things, and I have to clear my heart in the process. So in the process, there are some things that I'm going to put down. So when it comes to grieving and death and grief, this is something you need to know. This is not grief. It's not one of those things that just goes away. If someone you love dies, feel it. Feel it. Because in feeling it, you give yourself permission to be sad. I am sad. Like, I'm sad I'm never going to see my father again. But I'm glad that my daughter has his personality, both of them in ways, and the other has his athleticism. They're both stubborn. They got that honest from me, though, dad too. But it's just, I can see him now. And with others that passed, because I learned to grieve with my father, and I learned to appreciate people while they're here, because that helps with the ability to grieve later. When you feel like, I love this person, I'm gonna miss this person, but I loved them well while they lived. It's different. Yes, you're sad, and you're gonna be sad, and it's okay to be sad, and you might get depressed. Now, about depression, that's not a conversation that I'm gonna go into deep detail about. But since we're talking about death, there has been something that has been bothering me. And I haven't spoken on it, and I'm speaking on it now. So there was a young man whose name is Mr. Reed. And that reminds me of a Mr. Reed who I loved. But anyway, this Mr. Reed I didn't know. This Mr. Reed was found hanging at a college or university, and it was deemed that there was no foul play. It was deemed suicide. And I released the video because my heart was hurt, because I forgot what it's called. I don't know if it's called generational trauma or something like that. I'll get back to you. It's in one of my books. It's in my Transforming an Organization book, where I discuss like how, if like I'm a descendant of a slave, it is what it is. So as a descendant of a slave, which I had never heard of generational trauma, and I didn't think it was a thing, but I actually had an experience. After that young man was found, I had a dream that I was dragged out of my bed and hung. And almost every day, not every day, but almost every day, I walk around my neighborhood, and there is this branch, and it kind of curls in the shape of a noose. And it triggered me several times. Now I'm about to geek out. I just want to prepare you for this. I'm about to geek out. So for those of you who watch this video, I'm probably going to cut this and share just this portion as well. But I'm about to geek out right now because there are some things. I saw that they got an attorney. I'm glad they got an attorney. Glad. Yes, yes, yes. And they're questioning the autopsy. Now, the autopsy, the thing about the autopsy to me is the autopsy is going to show that his neck was broken when he jumped. The issue I have is this young man was in college, right? So I've been in education since 2004. I recently left education in 2024. So this young man is within the range of the students that I had been working with, right? So from what I know about them, because this is where I have questions. From what I know about them, this is not their mode of suicide. And I know that seems very black and white, and I'm sorry, but I've seen it and I've done research. This is not their mode of suicide. Not, what is this, Gen Z? No, overdose. Overdose, maybe guns. Okay, so that to me, question mark, because this is not usually what this generation does. Now, what I did, because the implication is that this young man was so depressed that he wanted to take his life. Okay, that's the implication. All right, you want me to buy that story. So I'm thinking about when I was depressed. And so what I have done is I have made a playlist on this channel and it only has Eeyore on it. And I want you to, if you've never seen Eeyore in like Winnie the Pooh, because I know that might be past, like I'm old school, I'm aging myself, that's fine. But I want you to look at that because that's what depression looks like. Because when I was like so depressed that that's what I thought, like, you know what, it would be better without me. There was no climbing of trees. There was no tying of nooses. I could barely get off of the couch or get out of the bed. So I want you to watch Eeyore's actions because that's depression moving. Extreme depression barely gets out of the bed. So you're telling me, or at least you want me to believe, because these are the things like, you know, if again, geeking out, the attorney, Gen Z them, everything is digital. So that means the rope, when he buy it? When did he buy that rope? When did he learn how to tie a noose? When did he learn how to tie a knot that would hold the rope to the tree so that it wouldn't snap when his body weight fell? When did he learn how to pick the weight of the rope that would support his body? Because every rope won't do that. Some rope is too thin, so it seems strong until you actually put that much weight on it. So how did he know that? When did he learn that? So nobody knew that he was this depressed? What was his motive behind the where and the when so that he would be found on a Monday morning? Again, I've worked with this generation for a long time, couple of them. And somebody's grieving and they're stuck because that don't make sense. Now, family, you are going to have to forgive, and it's going to be extremely hard. But with respect to those questions, I would be asking those questions. Because everything is digital. Money's moved digitally. Everything is purchased digitally. When was that rope purchased? I'm just saying, I will go back, rewind, and try to figure out, because those are the details that make the case. Not whether the autopsy proves that his neck was broken. If he jumped, or if he's pushed, or if he was pushed, his neck was going to be broken. When did he make that plan? Because that is a very elaborate plan for, it's just abnormal for this generation. And what is normal? Normal is the normal distribution. Everybody is normal, but are we healthy? And I know normal is like fit in, but just with respect to everybody who's living, we need positive though. So I know I started this video talking about death, and I know it went to something that bothered me, and that is about death. Because I thought about death in a way for myself, because it's somebody else's. I don't know that. All I know is that death is inevitable. We don't have to help it. After we are born, that's the only thing we have to do. I used to say there are two things you have to do: be yourself and die. And my kids would be like, "Oh my God, that is so dark." But is it not true? And then the be yourself thing, I take that back, because I haven't been myself for years. I'm out there. So get up, I went to try to serve some tables today. So I have been trying to work. I don't want to work. I have worked 30 plus different jobs. I worked at Target. I worked at McDonald's. I worked at least 5 to 7 different high schools. I led a building. I was a cheer coach. I was a dance coach. I've written curriculum for algebra and geometry and algebra 2 and statistics. I'm tired. I've written 5 books in the last 4 years. But am I willing? So I go out there and it don't work. Okay, I'm venting. I'm sorry. I'm venting. Focus. This is about death and life. We started about death, but I had to bring in life because you have to understand that it's a part of life. So we can't get stuck in it. And I'm speaking from experience, because I got stuck when I lost my job in Georgia, especially how it happened. And I got stuck. And that was just not just death. The way it was happened was betrayal, but it was death. And I needed to process it. And I need to give it to God. And I needed to move on so that I could move on and I could heal. Because I can't control other people's actions. I can only control me. And sometimes I struggle with that. So whenever you watch this, know that it's okay to cry. It's okay to get sad. It's okay to get mad. It's okay to get depressed for a little while because you miss them so bad, but we need you. Okay? But give yourself grace to miss your loved one. Because when you deny it, you hinder that part of your heart, and the rest of your life goes on, kind of, but dysfunctionally, because you're out of balance. So allow yourself to grieve so that you can love them again. Like, love them, put their pictures up and look at their pictures and think about the good times. And look at your children or call their brothers, your uncles, your aunties, and just love on the people who are still here and remember those who have passed on. And it is a process, but one I believe you can do. And I'm going to write about it. I just don't know which book I'm going to put it in. So I had to talk about it first because I love y'all, but I know y'all. And my wonderful babies didn't like to read too much, and they definitely didn't like to watch. And that's the other, right. And that's the other thing. This generation is lazy. I love them, but stop playing with me. So you think he climbed a tree, tied a rope, tied a noose, and jumped down while he was depressed. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. If I tell my daughter I ain't gonna go get her some juice, she be like, you know what? I don't even want that juice. Don't even worry about it. What? You don't want the juice no more? 2 seconds ago, you was about to die. I'm sorry. You're right. I don't know nothing. Who am I? I'm just a squirrel. I'm just Terry. And I'm going to end this video because I have talked way too long. I love y'all. Thank you if you watched to the end. And I don't know what's coming next, but peace. And you know I love you. Have a good one.